Because they got laws and rights now.
I don't forget my whole car took from my.
No, man, it only be offensive to people who want to get offended
and
by
now
it.
that I do.
Exactly.
I'm not a fan of the cancel culture. I don't feel like what he said was to the point when I know some people gonna be like, "Well, you're wrong." I don't feel like it was to the point where it's like, "Oh, I take this man deals." He stated his opinion. Now, at the end of the day, if it's just me,
I don't feel like he called nobody out because all he said was, "If you ain't got no HIV or STDs, like."
And if you sucking dick, like, at the end of the day, if I bought a ticket to this concert and I'm out in the parking lot sucking dick, you know that's just my business.
Sucking dick ain't gonna give you no AIDS unless the dick got AIDS before you suck it. I'm just saying.
But does that offend you?
Everybody suck dick.
Oh, I'm doing a podcast.
He was getting his dick sucked in the parking lot, so I don't offend me.
So the bitch sucking his dick got AIDS too.
But if you was sucking dick in the parking lot, nobody should offend you by saying you was sucking dick in the parking lot.
Exactly.
I feel like that was shade. That last part that the baby said, I feel like that was shade. Like, you seen something, my boy.
But that's my thing. At the end of the day, he done got dick sucked at a concert. Y'all don't know.
But my whole thing is, I'm just trying to figure out where the fuck it came from. It was so fucking random.
That's why I feel like it was shade, because he just
probably saw somebody doing it before he got on stage.
And with me, anything can be possible.
Then he was coming to get the
say somebody drinking and got down
the money order thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sucking dick in the parking lot and I ain't got AIDS, so he can kiss my ass.
Hey, hold on, guys, 30 seconds.
So why is it offensive?
Hold on, wait. 30 seconds. Somebody got that noise and it's coming into the mic. Let's try to talk one at a time. Go ahead. What you were saying, Doc?
Right. Oh no, I don't know.
Doc, go ahead. What you were saying?
I think that's Tay.
I guess we lost out. Who else was saying something the same time we was? Go ahead.
Oh no, my bad. I had it on mute. I thought you said somebody had some background noise.
No. I think it might have been Tay going with all that noise in the background. But go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that probably me. My bad.
Go what you were saying. So go ahead.
I forgot what I was saying. What I say?
We was talking about baby getting stuck in the parking lot.
Talking about
okay, but I'm saying
why would
so nowadays what we're saying is the truth offends people.
When it's
you
convenient.
say what?
I think
we saying nowadays that the truth offends people.
Avenge? No.
Offend.
Saying that
offend. The truth has always offended. If we be honest, the truth has always offended people, especially if somebody walking down your road and you don't want to stop doing what you're doing. Yeah, you're gonna be offended. But I just feel like at the end of the day, the truth sets people free, and sometimes people need to embrace their truth. I was just talking on my live the other day about how you gonna be true to somebody else when you can't even be true to yourself. It'd be simple shit. Like I had my coworkers looking at me like I was crazy, but I was dead ass serious. It'd be simple shit like us saying, "Oh, I'm gonna give a test on Friday," and then when Friday come, you don't give a test. Who you lied to? Your damn self. Now you had the intentions to do right, but you didn't. So when you start learning how to be true to thine own self, it's not hard for you to be true to other people like me. All my friends, all my true friends know that I'm going to say what the fuck I want to say. If you want to fight about it, we can get in the grass and rumble, tumble, and get our ass up and go on about our business. But I meant what the fuck I said. I said what I said.
So ratchet.
But you know, if you listen to your truth, then the truth shouldn't offend you.
At all.
I agree.
Because I suck dick, and that's my truth.
Yeah, because if you'd have been like, you weren't sucking dick in the parking lot, I'm like, I was.
It was me.
If you was doing it, I don't really.
But I ain't got no AIDS because I was sucking dick in the parking lot. Like I don't know how it go together.
That shoe didn't fit me, so I wouldn't have been offended by that either.
I feel like when you go to concert, you're supposed to either get your dick sucked.
That's my girl on her wine. Yes, ma'am.
Damn.
I feel like you should get your dick sucked. You should be sucking.
Hey man, my shit frozen.
It's a black screen, so I can't really tell.
Devin,
Man,
shut
Huh?
up.
No,
yeah.
if you eat coochie, you supposed to be eating your coochie in the parking lot. You supposed to be, eating coochie in the parking lot. I feel like
I'm just
that's
saying. I'm just saying. If I was eating some pussy in the parking lot, and he said that shit, I'd just be like, shit, but this nigga must know what the fuck going on.
Facts.
But
I mean, but,
also a bunch of dudes ain't finna get mad about no shit like that.
and I'll be honest with you, and let's be completely honest. Like, if he would have said that, then the case would have been mad that he said
God
that.
damn it, put your seatbelt on.
I bet they just took that context, like, okay, oh, no, he's not. Like, he's making a statement. If you ain't, this is not really about anybody. But I
She go bad. She go bad.
but
Just listen. Just look back and listen.
But Devin, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why that shit got blown out of proportion. And it is, I'm gonna play devil's advocate right now. The community in which made the most noise, of course, was the LGBTQRS, all them letters. That's because now they're in a position where they've been given rights and laws of protection. But the thing is, y'all been around for forever. You're just not being organized and recognized. So they take stuff and they blow it out of proportion only because now I have the right to do so. Like you said, if he said it, and like Carl said, if the shoe fit, wear that motherfucker. If not, take it off. Like, if he would have said, oh yeah, if you sucking dick in the parking lot, you got AIDS. No, bitch, I was sucking dick in the parking lot, but I definitely know I don't have AIDS. So you ain't talking about me. Type deal. But somebody from that community would be like, oh my God, how dare you say that? Da, 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 da. He said it. So the fuck what? It ain't no difference than you and your friend joking about you sucking dick in the parking lot. The only difference is he had a platform and you guys got a right and you guys got rights. So they blow stuff out of proportion. Because I love that community. I do. I have family members that are part of that community, but sometimes I feel like they can be overly sensitive.
No,
It ain't
sometimes they
that
can be
deep.
doing too much.
all right. So what you mean by that? Like, doing too much?
Like she said, overly sensitive. Like sometimes, okay, even in what you said, what you do behind closed doors, that shit don't really gotta be everybody business. But like when you try to, I ain't gonna say forcefully, but when you try to be like, hey, I'm here every time, and be like, you gotta accept me because I'm here, like. It's gonna be some people that ain't gonna look at it the same way. Like me
Right.
personally, I don't give a shit, bro. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. That's just like people that eat ass. I don't eat ass, but if eating ass make you happy, bro, go right ahead.
There you go. There you go.
I'm gonna jump in and say this. I'm gonna jump and say this. Now, for that part of it, I just can't agree with it. I can't agree with it, and especially when it's like, okay, they got right. So for so long, it's kind of
Hey,
like,
hold on, let me mute. I'm gonna mute myself, bro. I don't know if that.
go ahead. It's kind of like times when you have that going on, when white people say, oh, black people doing too much, or oh, they have a platform now, oh, they have rights, so this, that, another. I feel like black people get offended by that. They get offended by the fact that, these people telling you, okay, now we really, recognize the black community, we give them a say so, and now everything is a problem. Everything bothers them, and they just be doing too much. So I think that's kind of like a catch-22. Me being a part of that community and me being black, I get both sides of the spectrum. So are they doing too much? Not necessarily. Because for so long we've been oppressed, we've been overlooked, just like as black people, we've been oppressed, we've been overlooked, and we get a platform to finally say how we feel, or the right to say how we feel, So I don't agree with that much that, they're overly sensitive. I feel like
I think it's hypocritical though. I think it's hypocritical because just like the statement I made, and then we can use it in the black community as well. How I have to tell my students all the time, how y'all get mad when the white students say nigga, but y'all call each other niggas all the time. And understand the definition of what a nigga is. A nigga is any person of ignorance. Yet it was
What?
used
What?
nigger was used as a derogatory meaning to reference African American people. But I have to be honest and true with myself. And that's the same thing that the community has to do as well. Because if you're going to joke about it amongst each other, then don't get too sensitive when somebody outside of your community says the same thing y'all been saying all these fucking years.
Hold on, and hold on. I'm gonna get a floor to Daryl because Daryl made a
I
point.
respect all my niggas. My white niggas, my black niggas, my Spanish niggas. They all niggas to me.
I don't like wetbacks like that, but
Listen,
okay.
hold on, but I do want to bring Daryl on. Daryl said they ain't sensitive; they just flexing their political power. Now I'm interested to know what you mean. I'm trying to start tonight, but go ahead, Daryl. What you mean by that? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I ain't trying to start nothing. I don't want problems, Mr. Dale Baker.
Damn.
But what I'm saying is that it's just like family. So you could pick on your little brother, but nobody else better not pick on your little brother. Or just like when people say the F word in the gay community, the F-A word. Gay people could say that to each other, but nobody else better not say that shit. Or just like when women call each other bitches, they could call each other bitches all day. But
That part.
if
Hypocritical.
one female better not call them no bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's the same logic. It's just applied now with the gay community because now you have political power to censor people, to get
Right?
people
All
canceled
that.
like
Yeah.
that. So that's the only difference.
Okay, all right, I give you that.
Agreed.
Anybody else want to jump in and piggyback?
Mm.
You always don't get quiet. It got real quiet just then. Anybody got anything you want to piggyback on with that?
I mean, I agree with what he's saying. Like you said, it's just it's the whole concept, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that it's hypocritical. Because people are going to only do what they see you do or what they see you allow. So if they see y'all acting a certain way, just like African Americans, I have to be truthful. When they see us killing each other and acting a fucking fool with each other, they ain't gonna respect our culture because we don't even respect our culture. But like he said, with the Black Lives Matter thing, we have a political platform now. So of course everybody gonna go overboard when a white officer kills a black man or a black woman. But what happens when the opposite occurs? Do we go crazy when a civilian who doesn't have a right takes the life of an officer? No. So I for one, I support Black Lives Matter, but I also support all lives matter because nobody has the power or the right to take nobody's life at all. Period. For me. And now, granted, I'm licensed to kill. I have a license, and I'll put a bitch on a t-shirt quick because I'm not losing shit. But and if I'm gonna go to jail, I ain't going to jail for a battery charge. I'm going to jail because I done put a bitch in the ground. They're gonna be battering dirt when I get done with them. So, in all essence. But I'm just saying, like, why can't we just be fair about it? And it doesn't have to be, like she said earlier, a judgmental situation. It doesn't have to be that deep. But like he said, the political power that's being thrown around and everybody got to flex their muscle, that causes the confusion, the discord, it causes all of that. So then you have the rallies and the chants and the, whatever. But in all essence, we all sometimes are pretty much saying the same damn thing.
Okay, Tay, Takara.
I feel like I get what you're saying, but I don't feel like how black people interact with each other is the reason why. Like you say, how are we supposed to expect other people not to kill us if black people kill us? It's still a major difference because black people kill people for different reasons. White people kill black people just because we black. And I think that's what makes it different. Like,
Not
I don't
necessarily.
like.
I can't agree with that. And I'm gonna
Some
tell you
folks
why I
do
can't agree
live in
with
that
that.
though. That
When I
happens
was at
sometimes though.
FAMU,
Hold on, wait,
when, oh well, go ahead.
Go ahead, Takar.
No, I was saying that happens because what was it? The little boy in Georgia, what's his name? Aubrey or something? He was running. Like he got shot. Literally, they practiced him like he was target practice just because he was black. Trayvon Martin. He looked suspect. He got shot just because he was black. Like
Now
white
I
people
can
killing
agree
police
with
just
the
because they
Aubrey
black.
kid, but the Trayvon Martin kid, not so much. And the reason why I say this, and I'll play devil's advocate because you know I'm gonna speak my truth. You have to look. I teach my students as well as my personal kids that for every action there's a reaction. For every cause there's an effect. Let's just say that Trayvon was the kid that he was supposed to be, because we can't neglect the fact of why he was in Lake City in the first place. Okay,
But
so
hold on, Bree. Hold on. Let me jump in and say this. We know that in hindsight, we didn't know that when the incident happened. That
of
came in.
course you're not gonna always know the truth when shit happens, especially when it becomes a black and white situation. And that'd be
But
my only argument and things. At the end of the day, she made the statement that white people kill us because we're black. That's not the truth all the way around the board.
Not
Because
all the
in
way
some
around
of
the
these
board.
police killings, a lot of that shit could have been avoided had us black people not felt the need to flex our muscle. I
Well,
tell my children, even at a tender age, if an officer stop you, let them do what the fuck they gonna do. And when we get to the jailhouse, we'll figure that shit out later when we hire a lawyer and do it the right way. But being
well,
combative with an officer when you know these motherfuckers trigger happy, like that don't make sense.
but hold on. But let me jump in, Carl, for you say. Let me jump in and say this, Bree. I get that. But now, me playing devil advocate, because at the end of the day, I'm still a black male. Now, I face peril sometimes that you don't face as a black woman, but I do face them as a black man.
Okay.
And the feeling that you get sometimes, because I've been in that situation where I've got pulled over, and everybody on this feed knows me. And you guys know I'm not a troublemaker. I'm not a person that starts shit. I'm not
Right.
now I talk shit. But as far as like, just out there just doing crazy stuff, that's never been my stilo. That's
Right.
never who I've been as a person. But it's been times that I've had runners with the police and I was genuinely scared.
Yeah, me
And I
too.
because I don't know if I reach for my cell phone to call a family member and say, "Hey, Bree, I'm pulled over side of the road by this cop, and pow, pow, I'm dead." Because I'm not your average 5'11", 140-pound gay man. I am husky. I am thick, like a snicker, thicker than a snicker. But anywho, but so when they see that, they see a big black aggressive man. And y'all know I'm the type of person, like I said, I've never been a troublemaker. I've never been a person to go and start shit. Now I finish some shit, but I'm not going to start no shit. And just to get mistakenly characterized as a person, then that's why I disagree, because why should I have to sit in my car and yes sir, no sir, no sir. And granted, it is a sign of respect. However, that's what we had to do when we were slaves. To oppose the I'm upset because I know the type of person I am. Y'all know the type of person I am. You put me over for what? And you expect me to be cool because you put me over and I'm supposed to be yes sir, no sir, and I know I ain't did shit. Y'all know I ain't did shit.
I mean, it's your God-given right to advocate for yourself. But at the same time, if we can be just truthfully and honest about a lot of these killings, a lot of that shit could have been avoided.
I
If,
get
if,
you saying a
if
lot
that
of it should be
hold on,
avoided, but
it could
it
have.
shouldn't have to though.
Go ahead, Takar. Go ahead.
I was just saying it shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to and I get that you have to. I understand that. In order for us to live, you have to. But I guess my problem with it is the fact that you have to condition yourself to deal with the police. You have to teach your black son how to deal with the police. It shouldn't be that way. They shouldn't automatically fear us.
But they
automatically
fear
fear
us because of ignorance. They fear us because of ignorance. And the thing is, you're not held responsible for somebody else's ignorance. However, if you can avoid the situation by all costs, why not do so? Like, that's
But
just like me going to the zoo and saying I'm gonna climb over the damn fence and I'm gonna jump in the lion's den and not expect the fucking lion to bite me.
Hold on, but that's two different ignorances, because the lion is a wild animal, whether it's in captivity or not. As a person, you should be able to, discern or make the differentiation.
But we can't negate the fact that a lot of these situations could have just been simply avoided. I'm not saying that every kill was not justifiable. I'm not saying every kill did not deserve the Black Lives Matter rally and the walk down the streets. I'm not saying that, because it's a lot of them that really actually made me fucking upset, especially when it came down to children. However, what I'm saying is, as African Americans, because we know that these crackers don't like us, because we know that they fear us out of the ignorance of what they've been taught and raised, because we know that, why not be the upper people and say, okay, because I know you want to shoot me, I ain't giving you a reason to. If you're gonna take me to jail, take me to jail, and I'm gonna sue the shit out of you afterwards.
But this is my thing, though. That's not stuff that, I'm
I can't hear you. You're breaking up.
Hold on, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not to say that, okay, I'm gonna go to jail and I'm gonna sue, because that might not come to fruition. It might not come from anything. Might not come from. However, why do I, as a human being that's supposed to be in this country, that has the same right, because by paper I'm supposed to have the same right, why do I have to roll over and play nice? And you've seen videos, I've seen videos where old white women running from the police, old white women talking crazy to the police, trying to hit the police, and what do? They shoot them with the taser.
Because this not our world. We know that. But America is not land of the free. It ain't for us. Ain't never been for us.
I agree with that. However, I don't feel, and this is just where I disagree with you on that, is I don't feel like as a person, that I should roll over on my back and say, okay, do what you got to do. I'm going to make this, I'm going to just go and try to fight this in the courts. No. As a person, as a human being, Bree, I shouldn't have to do that, especially if that's not the case, where when it comes to every other person you deal with, they get the same thing. Now, I'll be okay with that if I'm looking at videos where white people getting the guns drawn on them, or white people, and granted, people are like, oh, well, white people die more than black people. Yeah, because there's more white people in the country than black people. So they're going to die at a higher rate. There's going to be more of them that die. However, as a person that treats everybody the same, and y'all know that, loves everybody the same, why do I have to roll over on my back and play nice?
But it's no difference than on a job. If your superior says something to you, if you want to be on that job, sometimes you gonna bite your motherfucking tongue. Now, I used to be one that didn't, but then when I realized that I kept getting terminated and having to find other income and having to find other jobs, I quickly learned that there was more than one way to skin a cat. With these officers and with the African American community, we gotta find better ways to beat them at their own game. Going at them full force when they got a motherfucking gun drawn on you is just not smart.
And Bree,
I'm saying.
Bree, and I agree with that, because you have a professional job. At the same time, the only person for this job, regardless of professional or not, I can't work for you. And again, I got bills just like the next person. I have responsibilities like the next person. But if I have to roll over my back, and as a job, you're supposed to protect me, and I gotta play. Now, if I'm wrong and I know I'm wrong, okay, yeah, I'm gonna roll over, shut up, and like, okay, Dev, you was fucking wrong.
But they don't do that. They don't do that. There were instances where people were wrong and they were rightfully stopped, and you became combative, which, do I feel like their lives should have been taken? Hell no. I don't never feel like police brutality or police misusing or abusing their authority is right. However, I just feel like if you know you fucking wrong, take what you did and take the consequences. And if something is done wrong in the midst of that, handle that, but you live to fight another fucking day. We shouldn't have to be Black Lives Mattering you because you chose to be ignorant for a split second that cost you your life.
True, but that's not always the case. If I'm your principal and I'm a white woman in your classroom and I say, you teaching wrong and you dead wrong and you know the way you train, the way
you breaking up because somebody else thing was going. Go ahead.
I'm saying if I'm your principal and I'm a white man and I come and I say, Bree, I don't like the way you teach your class. And you're teaching your class by the book, by the state mandates, and you've turned this lesson plan into me a week in advance, a month in advance, and I've had the opportunity to look over it, but I come to you and say, Bree, you wrong. And that's wrong. You may say, okay, you know what? I'll deal with this later. However, that doesn't change the fact that how that makes you feel. And as a person, you're entitled to feel that way.
But you got to know the difference between a feeling and an emotion. I was just doing a study on that. You have to know the difference between a feeling and an emotion because feelings will get you fucked up. So I can feel feelings are temporary. Feelings are for the moment. Feelings are instant. Emotions are things that have evolved over time. So prime example, feelings. You're happy. I'm happy. Why are you happy? Happiness is brought about because something was done before. You get what I'm saying? So when we react off our feelings, we're reacting in the moment, which is your God-given right. But then once that moment is gone, what the fuck you got?
I agree with that. However, Bree, it's just for me. And again, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
And I want everybody else to jump in with this conversation. Tay, Daryl, Takar, I want y'all to jump in. Just for me, I feel like the moment I have to subside, whether it's emotions or how I feel, then I'm not true to me. And as a person, what is that setting forth? Like, what change is going to come if I have to roll over on my back, belly side up, to keep from dying from the same people that I pay, you pay, and everybody else on this live that pay these people to serve and protect. My tax dollars come out just like everybody else's tax dollars. I'm paying your salary just like everybody else is paying your salary. But I'm paying your salary and I can't be protected because of the color of my skin and because of what you think as a person. So you get that upper hand to say, oh, I fear for my life, so I shot him. But I don't have that same right to say I fear for my life, so I couldn't stand up for myself.
No, advocate for yourself. But there's always one thing my husband taught me. There's always a right way to do wrong shit.
I agree. And I'm gonna give everybody this opportunity to jump in. Takar, Daryl, Tay, y'all jump in. I know me and Bree been going back and forth, but y'all jump in.
I just wanted to know what you felt about qualified immunity, since you were the one who took the stance that if you feel like the police are doing something wrong, then you have a right to tell them that they're doing something wrong in that moment, instead of just taking whatever comes and then dealing with it later. That's why I want to know what you feel about qualified immunity.
I think qualified immunity is bullshit.
And that's something we agree on, because I feel like if we got rid of qualified immunity that the police have, then they will be less inclined to kill people on site like that, because then they will be held personally liable for the things that they do. And so as long as they have qualified immunity and they have that protection, then they're going to keep acting a fool like that. So
and I agree. And I'm going to play a devil's advocate, and I'm going to put this back on Bree for some to get ready to jump in. Bree, as a teacher, you have a student that's a little bit more undeveloped, or, a student that needs a little bit more time versus everybody else in your classroom. However, as a teacher, if that student is assigned to your class, and granted, you can't make the student pass your class, you can't make the student get what you're teaching, but your job as a teacher is to treat everybody that walks across that threshold into your classroom to teach them the same, and make sure to the best of your ability that they get it. Am I right or wrong? Bree?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. However, there are special accommodations. I'm sorry. There
Oh,
are
you
special accommodations for kids of that caliber. So, like I
true.
said, there's always a right way to do wrong shit. Like, prime example, I have a student right now because the IDEA Act has now put it where, when we went to school, if you was ESE, you was in your own classroom, on your own hallway. We didn't know you, you didn't know us. We didn't interact with you, you didn't interact with us because you was SLD and we was normal. You get it? Now, what that law states now is that whether they slow, whether they handicapped, whether they ADHD, ADD, ESE, whatever, we have to include them. It's now an inclusion. We have to include them in the classroom. So the way they've done this now is they have these things called IEPs, right? Those are the individual education plans. What it does is it excludes those students from certain aspects of that generalized population. So when I get students of a mixed caliber in my class, yeah, you're right. It is my job to treat everybody the same, to teach everybody the same. But in also efforts, I have to take a little more extra time to pull those certain students aside and deal with them according to their legal document, which is the IEP. It's a legal document. I have to use that and show proof that I'm using that and including their accommodations. Or if anything comes up, whether they pass or fail, if I fail to do that, they automatically get promoted, whether they know shit or not.
But
So,
why is that though? Because you were trained to do that, right?
right, it's
Okay.
it's a legal document. It's a legal binding.
Okay. So with that being said, as a police officer, you should be trained to deal with people of all different calibers, all
But in
different.
my profession,
Well, you going out, Bree? You going out? You going out, Bree? I can't hear you.
my bad. In my profession, we are all trained. Like you said, we are all trained to do the same thing. We all know that if a child has an IEP, you must administer accommodations. But do everybody do that? Hell no. It's the same thing with the law. So when you come across a teacher that you know ain't gonna do their job authentically and for real, you deal with them accordingly. That's how we have to deal with the officers. When we know that we dealing with a motherfucker that don't got no understanding for us, bitch, why I'm gonna sit there and fuss with you for when you got the power to kill me and can possibly walk away because they ain't convicting y'all motherfuckers.
This rhetorical question, I'm gonna give everybody else a chance to jump in. So in the event that is discovered by the principal or by the school board, what happens to that teacher? But before you answer that, Bree, I'm gonna give everybody else a chance to jump in. Daryl, Tay, Takara, jump in. Tay, Takara, Daryl.
What was the question?
Well, I was giving you the opportunity to jump in just on the conversation that Bree and I having. You know what we're talking about. What's your
I have
feeling
no
about
rebuttal at this point. Like I don't really have nothing. Like I guess I get both sides of it, but I get what Bree's trying to say. But I just feel like Devin said, we pay these people, so we should have the same. Like we shouldn't have to lessen ourselves to make someone else comfortable. That's it.
All right, Tay, Daryl, jump in.
I just want to know, okay, with your point, Devin, about they need to be trained, I feel like that's a pointless thing to do, because why should I be responsible for paying you more money because you fucking up? Because in order for them to get more training, we have to pay more money. In turn, we have to get more taxes taken out of our paycheck.
Because they're
So
gonna take them regardless, and I just feel like they're gonna take them regardless. at least pay them to train them to do the right thing. That's just my biggest thing. Again, granted, I'm not a police officer. I don't know what they go through. Anybody in law enforcement, I'm not gonna sit and pretend like I know what you go through, the perils that you face. I'm not gonna sit and pretend that I do. However, I still feel like we're already paying them to do the fucked up job they're doing, and not all of them. For the record, let me say, I don't want nobody to be like, well, we all ain't like that. For the record, you have some amazing police officers. You have some amazing people in law enforcement. You really do, that truly wear that badge with honor, pride, courage, dignity, tenacity, all of that. We're talking about the ones that don't. And we all know, we all black. We know that you do 1,000 good things, and that one bad thing you do overshadows the rest of it. But we're already paying you to do the job. So I just feel like we should definitely invest in that. But Tay, go ahead, jump in, Tay.
Yes. I feel like the police should just be targeting black people. That's how I feel. I mean, being somebody who have been locked up and who have been targeted just because I'm black with dreads, like I feel like police should just be targeting black people. Like that's just how I feel. Like even if you try to be so nice to them, like they still find a way to. Nah, that I feel like all police they just be targeting black people, bro. That's just how I feel. Like in my situation, what I've been through with the police, I feel like they just targeting people. I got pulled one night. Like I grew up with white people, so I went to an all white school. So like 2 of my friends that was with me, they was white, and I got pulled just because I got white people in my car. Fuck what we did. The only thing they was worried about is the white people okay. Like they didn't even put them in handcuffs. They put me in handcuffs, searched the car, and they feel like the white people was in danger. Like, nah, I feel like all police is they targeting black people. That's just how I feel.
And really quick, I'm going to tell you about the experience I had as a black person. Y'all, I was coming from my house in Tallahassee. We had cooked, and I went over there. And the police stopped me. Now, mind you, just when I had my little Sonata, it was like a 06, 07 Sonata. I can't remember the year. And I was riding fishbowl, so there was no tents, none of that. And I got stopped. Me and my best friend here, we were in the car. They put us on my wrist. I felt the Chanel bracelets. And I felt some type of way because I know that I was generalized as a black person because they said, "Oh, a car just tried. A tow truck driver just tried to repo a car. It fit the description of your car." Now at that time, it wasn't my car. My car was not getting repoed. Let me just go on because y'all be trying to read. Wasn't my car at the time being repoed, and I had to get out of the car and have handcuffs placed on me because my car fit the description of the car that was being towed, and the people put the gun out on the tow truck driver. However, I'm riding fishbowl now, and keep it cute. I had just left the gym, so I had my workout clothes on. My best friend here, we had workout clothes on. We had literally just left the gym, and you could see that we was not dressed like people that's going to shoot somebody the fuck up. They pulled me out of a car and put Chanel bracelets on my wrist, and I ain't like that. Cause I ain't the type of person, if I did some shit, I say I did it. I don't think I ever broke the law. Not enough to get arrested. I mean, I've done shit that I know I was supposed to. Like I've driven drunk and shit like that. But as far as like just out here just breaking the law to get arrested, that's never been me. And I was arrested. I felt like a fucking common criminal, and I was devastated, like devastated. And for me, that kind of just fucked me up. What, Dare? What you want to say? Go ahead, jump in.
Nah, I'm just laughing at your story. The way it's not what you're saying, is how you're saying it is what's so funny to me. Yeah, but I do believe you though. It is traumatic whenever you enact with police officers, but the way you describing it, you just making it seem like, oh my God.
No, but to be completely honest with you, Daryl, that's how I felt because again, y'all know my character. You know who I'm as a person. This man put handcuffs on me, and at that point, so to kind of to go with what we were talking about, at that point, I was pissed. It wasn't no being calm, cool, collected. No, I was talking cash money shit because you don't put these handcuffs on me. You done took me out of this damn car, and I'm being treated like a criminal. And I'm not trying to talk shit about the criminals because that's y'all thing, whatever. However, I just feel some type of way because here I am being treated like a criminal. So no, I'm not like, oh, yes, sir, no, sir. No, bitch, take these motherfucking handcuffs off my goddamn wrist. Because as soon as you get these handcuffs off my wrist, I need your badge number, I need your name, I need your lieutenant that's on duty. Because I'm finna file a goddamn complaint. Because baby, this ain't going down. Y'all check my damn record. I ain't did shit. And y'all got these handcuffs on me like I'm a fucking common criminal. And at that moment, Bree, so just kind of like go back to what we're talking about. I couldn't calm down. I couldn't be at the point where like, you know what, your life is in your hands. No, I ain't did shit. Shoot at a fucking tow truck driver. First of all, if I shoot at a tow truck driver, I'm gonna shoot the tow truck driver, but I don't shoot at nobody. But I'm gonna shoot and miss. But nonetheless, it's like here we are being treated, and literally, we're leaving the gym, going to get a plate, and then going home. And I was devastated. I had never in all my life felt like that. I was devastated. I was devastated. Like that traumatized me I couldn't sleep for about a good week comfortably because I was always scared I was going to jail. But somebody jump in.
But can I say this? I can definitely say, okay, so yeah, just hearing the the testimonials of what you and Tay have experienced. You guys have your opinion set upon the experience that you've ran into with the law. I myself have ran into with the law. I was arrested back in 2015 on fraud charges. I knew I hadn't did no fraud. However, my name, my identity, and everything was used. And yeah, it took me $2,000 later to get my name cleared. However, the situation could have went so differently had I just reacted a totally different way than what I did.
So how do you feel like you should have reacted in that situation?
In that situation, like you, because I know I ain't did shit. The fuck y'all putting these cuffs on me, type deal. But then I had to quickly understand what was going on, what type of motherfucker I was dealing with. And then I told my mama, because my mama was going off, but I told my mama, I said, no, just get my debit card, hit my PIN, go withdraw the money, bond me out. She said, I got a bond already, just bond me out. We'll deal with that shit later. I paid Mutake Akbar $2,000. A year and a half later, all charges acquitted, my name cleared. However, what I will say is we cannot keep on taking the position of apologizing for other people's ignorance. We can just safely say that in every profession, you got people who just ain't gonna fucking do their job. Not just police officers, not just teachers, but business managers, restaurant managers. You got people who just legitly live by the fact of I do what the fuck I want to do because they feel untouchable until they're touched. So what it happens is the only difference between regular people and law enforcement is that they have a legal right to kill your ass. And you take forever to find out in the courts the logistics of whether they were right or wrong. Now, is that fair? Fuck no. But is that the world that we live in? Yes. So if you're going to survive, yes, it does not feel good rolling over. I had a parent cuss me out so fucking bad today in the email, bro. And when I say because everybody in that building know my character, the principal literally texted me. I didn't even know she cussed me out in the email. I was at the board teaching. I heard my phone go off. The principal was calling my phone to tell me, you better not respond to that email because they already know what type of timing I'm on. Bitch, you ain't gonna disrespect me. However, he went ahead and answered the email before I even got back to my computer. And when I saw what she said, I still was fuming. But what sense would it make for me to respond when he's already responded on my behalf?
And that is true. And that is true. But why did it offend you so much?
Because, bitch, you ain't gonna motherfucking cuss me out. The fuck? I do the cussing.
So again, now let me ask this question first. Had your boss not interceded and said,
I would not have no motherfucking job because that bitch was gonna get every inch of cuss word I knew, the ones I made up, and got me what we would like to call fucked up.
Or she had you fucked up. So my thing is, again, yes, we get the fact that, okay, it's not safe to go out here and just be cussing out the police or being disrespectful. However, like you said, she had you fucked up. When that police officer put them handcuffs on my wrist,
he had you fucked up.
And at the time, I didn't have nobody to jump in and say, "Oh, I'm your attorney. I got this covered for you." No, it was
right.
Me.
That's why you think ahead, because I tell people now, Devin, you know from experience, I was a loose fucking wire. Before I had any damn children around here, bitch, I'll beat your motherfucking ass and wouldn't care. Go put the Chanel cuffs on me, bitch. I'll take them. I'll take the battery charge. I'll pay plenty of money for anger management damn classes and pre-trial intervention because the bitches just ain't gonna disrespect me. But when I started having kids, I had to come to a maturity level and a knowledge that some shit I just can't fight on my own.
So let me ask you this question.
Not if I want to be free and raise my fucking kids.
So how do you respond to your son that tells you, "Mama, I got stopped for a tag light being out," and I was terrified. I was terrified to pick up my phone and call you to let you know what was going on, because if I'd have picked my phone up to call you, they could have said, "Oh, he was reaching for a gun." How do you explain? Because listen, I'm 30. Oh shit, I'm 33 years old, and
you act like you fucking 39. I'm 31.
I'm 33 in real life, but in my head, I'm 21. But
you're gonna always be 21, baby.
Thank you, boo. But at 30, but even at 33, Bree, as a black man, I'm terrified.
As you should. You should be. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, as an African American community, we should be terrorized because these motherfuckers are not paying fair. But is it fair to just say that they're not playing fair, especially when we give them a reason sometimes not to play fair?
But this is my thing. They decide what's the reason that we not playing fair. All I'm simply saying is, I'm playing fair. But I pick up my phone to call Bree to say, "Hey, Bree, because I know you my homegirl, I know you got some sense, you can help me out. This is what I need you to do. Pow, pow, I'm dead." And I was not even being disrespectful. I was grabbing my phone to call you to say, "Bree, come get my wallet to get me out of jail." Or, "Bree, I'm just calling you so you can know what the fuck is going on because I'm in West Palm Beach by myself and I don't know nobody. Here, I'm calling you to tell you to come get me, and pow, pow, I'm dead."
Well, just to piggyback on the question you asked me, like, what would I say to my son if he came home? For one, I'm going to be thanking and praising God that he made it fucking home in this society. That's for one. For two, I'm going to tell him and I'm going to apologize to him that he has to live in a world where he already has 2 strikes against him simply because he was born a black male. For 3, I'm going to let him know, now that you've made it home, tell me what happened so now I can get the proper people involved so we can handle this. Because see, the thing is, a lot of times we try to fight our own battles. And sometimes, like I said, there's always a right way to do wrong shit. We got to start beating these motherfuckers at their own game. But because there's a thing that's called PRIDE in the black community, we just, like you've been saying all this time, that make me feel some type of way that I gotta roll over. Well, sometimes you gotta be motherfucking Charlotte's Web and roll your ass over, Wilbert.
But Bree, let me tell you this: as a black male, I called my mom and told my mama the same thing.
Yeah.
It didn't shake that fear. It didn't change.
No, it's not gonna take away. I'm not negating from no emotions, no feelings that you may have experienced in that moment. Because even me myself, when I'm driving down the road, the police will flash their lights and they may not even be coming after me, but instantly my heart drops because of the world we live in now. But please believe that I'm not gonna ever give a cracker an opportunity to play target practice with me.
Go get us banned.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna ever give a police officer an opportunity to play target practice with me. I'll be a yes sir, Master Harriet Tubman wearing motherfucker, and then I'm gonna deal with your ass accordingly afterwards.
But see, I feel like at the end of the day, and then even about pride.
And we shouldn't have to, like you guys been saying all the time. I'm not disagreeing with that. We shouldn't have to, but looking at the reality, shoulda, coulda, woulda, ain't never did nothing for nobody. What is necessary to survive at this point?
At the same time, Harriet Tubman, yes, the master got her ass beat and got her ass whipped.
But she got the fuck away.
But she didn't stop her from getting whipped.
But she got away. So I'm gonna have to take a few bruises. I'm gonna have to take a few tongue lashings. But guess what? I'm going to get the upper hand at the end. Her ultimate goal was freedom, and she got freedom in the end, right?
That's what we know, Bree. That's what has been taught to us. We weren't there, so we don't know.
But she didn't die a slave, so she did what she had to do to not be a slave. She ain't die one.
You know what thing Harriet Tubman said? Then I was gonna tell you something, but open the floor for Daryl and Tay. Harriet Tubman words is and not verbatim, but some of her words she said was, "I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if they realized they were slaves." But I'm gonna open the floor for Tay and Daryl to jump in. Go ahead, Tay and Daryl.
But that's why I was harping on qualified immunity, because y'all keep saying, but why should it be like that? It shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't have to deal with that. But if we as a community, instead of being victim-based, be more based in proactivity and realizing the problem and attacking the problem, which is qualified immunity, then we wouldn't have to deal with this. Or maybe we as millennials in the older generation, we'll have to deal with it, but then your kids ain't gonna have to deal with it because we would have took care of that. Because if you get rid of qualified immunity, then the police will not be so quick to shoot your ass, because
they're
then
protected.
Responsible for everything that they do.
Well, let me say this, there for the people in the watching, the people watching live, people that's following us. Explain to them how you break down that qualified immunity, because we all know what qualified immunity means, and not discouraging anybody. Some people may not know. What are some ways that you feel like we can break down that qualified immunity, that we're talking about?
So just for the people who don't know what qualified immunity is the legal protections that police have whenever they do anything within the line of duty, i.e. shooting someone or beating somebody up or whatever. They have legal protections against that as long as they are doing their job at the time. They have legal protection. So to answer Devin's questions, there are already people working on breaking down qualified immunity. Like the state of Colorado, they already are taking down qualified immunity. And in like the national head, I forget the black woman's name. I think it's Ayanna Presley. I think that's the bald head woman, black woman. Yeah, so she the one that created the bill to get rid of qualified immunity, but it's tied in with that George Floyd policing bill, and they having trouble passing that. So we had a deadlock with that. But like I said, if we could get rid of omnibus bills like the George Floyd policing bill and start just doing single issue bills, like if we just passed a single issue qualified immunity bill to help the black community, then it wouldn't take so long, and we would be addressing the problem directly, in my opinion.
Okay, Tay, jump in.
Shit, I really don't got much to say, but what she said about the when the police flick the lights and heart drop, me, police flick their lights behind me, like it been like about 2 weeks ago. I was speeding. I know I was speeding, and he flicked his lights to warn me. The first thing in my mind was to haul ass, and that's what I did. I ain't even gonna lie. So it's
You
like
sound like my husband.
I'm telling you, it's different, bro.
I'm
Especially
taking their ass on the chase. That be
especially
his
if you
first thing.
constantly keep getting targeted by police. Is like, honestly, whenever I do see lights or anything, like the first thing that click in my mind is the run. That just me. That's just I be trying to
But
like
that's
pull
because
over,
that's
but
your experience.
my
They
foot
pushed
won't
you
let
to
me pull
feel
over,
that
man.
way. Yeah.
I just can't do it. I have to haul ass. I'm sorry, that's just me. I just don't want no dealing with the police, man.
And I
Catch
don't.
me,
I
catch
don't-
me after I run shit when I'm tired. That's how I feel.
Listen, I was coming from Tampa once. That's why I still lived in Tallahassee. I was coming from Tampa, and I ain't gonna lie, I was doing like 95, so I didn't even go trip. And the police turned the lights on. I'm like, and my heart didn't drop. I'm like, you know what? I know I was speeding, So at the end of the day, I'm just gonna take this ticket. I'm gonna take this L because I was speeding. And and don't get me wrong, I was nervous, but at the same time, I'm like, I fucked up. I know I fucked up. But when he stopped me, white cop, young cop, he was like completely opposite of what I expected. The man let me go. He was like, you just got to slow down. I'm gonna give you a warning. He was like, but you realize now warnings are put in the system, so if you get stopped again, they're gonna see that you were warned already. He was like, but just slow down a little bit. And I was dead fucking wrong. But listen, baby, I was getting it. I had that 2021 Chevy Tahoe in the wind. I don't drive a Chevy Tahoe in my mind. That's what it is. But I had that Chevy Tahoe in the wind, baby, and I was hauling ass. So in that instance, Bree, I knew I was wrong. So I'm not gonna try to fight and argue with the man because I know I was wrong.
But you got people who do.
True.
You got people who do. And in the instance, that's when shit ends fatally for us. We lose in that. And that's what I don't be liking.
Okay. All right. So,
Can I ask Terica a question real quick?
Go ahead.
So since we know that there are certain black people in the community that get stopped and get pulled over or get killed for good, why do you feel like no matter what the reason, no matter what the justification is, black people still rally behind a black person they know that's wrong?
Because it's the race. It's the race. They love to say we're not making this a black and white thing, but when it all boils down to the nitty gritty of it, it comes from a white officer killed a black man or a black woman. It's racial. It's racial driven. Everything in America to the probably to the demise of this earth is going to be racially driven. Should it be that way? No. But at the same time, it's the way America has been branded, has been orchestrated and constructed, and is more so like one of those inevitable things like we fuck. We're fucked. Because no matter how good you may have it, like I work with a whole bunch of white people and they cool as fuck. I love all of them. Like today, like this morning, my baby had a seizure. So I called my boss to tell them, hey, I'm calling in because my baby had a seizure. And when she have a seizure, they normally run with fever. She get like real lethargic and da da da. I'm gonna have to be in the house all day to take care of her, or we gonna have to go down to Wilson. And then they gonna admit her, so I'm really not gonna be able to come to work. You know what them people did? Now, last year, same people I worked with could not stand my guts. We have a new dynamic in the building now because the principal that we have now, he came in that motherfucker and he changed the dynamic of it. Like everybody act like a big ass family. So I posted it today on Facebook. My baby literally sitting in my assistant principal office with her bonnet on, watching Coco Melon on her laptop. And my baby was at my job all day. I did not one time get one phone call to say, hey, you're going to come get her, da 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 da, or you could just get her and go home. No, they took care of her. They gave her medicine when she was supposed to have it. They put her down for a nap. They fed her. They changed her diaper when she peed or pooped. Like, white people had my black baby.
You have, and I agree with you.
Exactly. So you have people who are not racially driven, but the ones that are, we cannot feed into their ignorance. And most times we do, because I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I be like, motherfucker, you don't talk to me like that. We ain't in slavery. But then I have to quickly remember, if I argue back with you, it makes me just as ignorant as you. Now you talking to somebody who used to love a good read, honey, baby. I love a good argument, bitch. That fires me up. But now I guess now that I done crossed that 30 threshold, I ain't as spring chickenish as I used to be. I have to pick my battles wisely now.
Oh, baby, I still love to read. I still love to read.
I used to take every last one of them that hit my desk, but now I look at some shit and I be like, yeah, you got it. You got it. Like that same parent today. I had to let that hoe know you got it. And guess what? It took everything in me not to respond when I saw her say I was incompetent. Bitch, your mammy incompetent. And I hope she maggot food, which would make it hurt worse that I said it. But I knew if I would have said that, my boss would have been like, Ms. White, I gotta terminate.
She don't mean that, guys. It's just her expressing her feelings. She doesn't mean that.
Don't let Devin lie to y'all.
She doesn't mean that. She respects every parent that she teaches, or the kids that they teach.
Respect is given and earned.
But with that being said, so going for example, so if you was to see a black person on the side of the road, is a random black person on the side of the road getting pulled over, would you also stop to make sure that nothing happened to that black person?
Hell no, Bree.
Yes, I would.
I'm not gonna say that I would, because that ain't got shit to do with me. Because they could be getting stopped and got 30 kilos packed up in their truck. Now I'm associating myself with somebody that's trafficking. No, that ain't got shit to do with me. I'm gonna pray God's speed and hope everything turned out for the best for them, but I ain't getting in nobody's business. No, I ain't getting nobody's business.
You know that if I answer that question, oh my God, oh damn, I missed talking to. Okay, but to answer that question, it's kind of rough. I would kind of probably see, just like what's going on. And if I realize that they're wrong, we know it is what it is. Now,
But if I see some ignorant shit going on, like if I see an officer trying to snatch somebody out of the car and the person, is kind of looking like terrified in the face or whatever, like what the fuck going on, I would definitely be one of those people to pull over and start recording just in case they need some evidence. Now I would do that, but as far as walk up on the situation and be like, "What the hell going on?" No, that ain't got shit to do with it.
Like turn around and shoot you, shit.
So you ride on the road, but you see this man pull out the car, you gonna stop? Not because.
No, if I'm riding down the road and I see the officer struggling with this man and pulling this man out the car and the man looking baffled as to what the fuck is going on, then I'm going to pull out this nice old cell phone and get the recording, because this man may need this for evidence later. But am I going to stop my car and get out of my car? The fuck not. No.
Everybody's got to put you in,
baby. I ain't gonna lie to the paper, but Tay, exactly, honey. I'm not gonna lie to the people like that. No, that ain't my calling. My calling is children.
Listen, guys.
That ain't my calling.
See you later.
We got 3 minutes left, so I'm gonna give everybody an opportunity to closing statements. Can you go?
Oh, I ain't got nothing to say, man.
Tay, you ain't never got shit to say.
No closing statement? Any advice you want to give anybody? Anything?
Keep your hands on the steering wheel when the police pull you over.
This how you know men taping the country. They take all that thing a steering wheel instead of
Steering wheel.
The steering wheel.
Steering
Spirit
wheel.
water, baby. All
Steering wheel. That's what I'm talking about. Steering
Keep your
wheel.
hands on it.
Brittany.
If they tell you to reach for something, hell no. Tell them to come right here and get it.
You can get it.
Hell no. I ain't reaching for nothing.
Free closing statement.
Only thing I would like to say is, as a community,